Woo! No?
Okay.
Jesus don't want that?
Probably not. What is up, everybody? This is Top State of the Grind, episode number 162.
162.
And we're here with Seth, Torquay, Brown. Thank you for being on the show today.
Again, this is round two, huh?
Round two.
In person, though, this time.
Yeah, this
so
is
that's
person.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, you know what? The first one was fun.
The first one was great. That was
Was
probably the best.
Was this the first one that we did like that?
Maybe.
It was like 3 years ago.
It was a long time ago. It's
Crazy.
Yeah, it was the whole COVID shit that was happening.
It was probably the best remote one we did because those are hard.
It was like 3.5 hours long, too.
Yeah, it was not short.
Shit, really. Yeah, I want to end this one already.
I hear you.
Oh, man.
I'm really close to Craig right now.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
We're
Really
here.
threatened to kick his ass.
We're ready to go. Yeah, but now he's threatening to leave, I guess. I don't know. He didn't threaten to kick your ass. That's kind of messed up.
I might need this.
I
appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
absolutely. We're glad you're back. We've been meaning to get you back on. We just haven't had occasion.
It's hard to get back to Idaho.
I thought you guys were going to have him on last year because you were here with your wife, right?
Yeah, so when I showed up to the house...
You don't talk like that when your wife's around?
What's that?
You don't talk like that when your wife's around?
Yeah, he's got to behave.
He has to behave?
Mm-hmm.
Should be fun to have on the podcast, but we would veer away from whatever we're really trying to get after.
Okay.
No, you
should give
guys
that a
were
shot.
interviewing. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
You were interviewing Bushcraft Kelso last year.
Bushcraft Kelso, and we did one other one too.
I don't know.
I think they did one with. Did they do one with you? Yeah. Oh, okay. Then they did one with Jason, I think.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
first
We got
night.
Justin
I think the
back
first night they
here.
did
We
one with
got
Jason.
the Tops crew. What was your name again? Chris.
And Chris, of course.
Kentucky
Yeah.
Chris, I think.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
They call
Yeah.
him.
I'm assuming he's from Kentucky,
I don't know. His shirt
So,
says
yeah.
Kentucky.
or he's been to Kentucky at least.
Yeah, so we got a group. We got a group of guys.
Supposedly Nate and Aaron are coming, but they're probably stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Those chuckleheads.
They went on the freeway, didn't they? Oh, okay. Well,
It'd be fun to do, a big round table with those dudes.
It would be.
Yeah.
Put some mics. So yeah.
We'll do that sometime.
we did one with Nate and Aaron. Did we do that one outside? Like up around the river, didn't we?
You guys were messing with my prototype at the time.
Yeah, I think so. I think we were outside.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Me and that's when I think Dilly Dilly was going down and all that, because those came out at the same time, right?
I think so.
Close.
Yeah.
Actually, I have that one that's on me right now, I think.
That prototype?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Right on. So,
Badass.
what have you done the last 3 years?
Flown a desk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've actually gotten to do a lot of really cool stuff. So, these opinions are my own. They're not representative of the United States Air Force. All right. Yep. You get to a lot of cool opportunities when you're in the military, but as you progress, sometimes you got to step away from your primary mission to pay your dues and maybe do some staff work and whatnot. So I've been working and helping set up a new wing. It's called the Spectrum Warfare Wing. So anything electronic warfare, jamming systems, things like that. Yeah, pretty cool. I got picked up for that because of my time flying with the Navy. So the last time we did this podcast, I was with the Navy. Backseat of an F-18. Well, it's an EA-18G.
We give you so much shit about that,
man,
but that's
but
probably
it's
one
so
of the
cool. It's
coolest
cool what
fucking
you do.
things you can fucking do.
But we're not going to let you ever believe that. So
I mean, I don't need you to
well,
make me
you seem a
feel
little.
good.
You did threaten violence before we started this, so I'm just saying.
Violence is unwarranted aggression.
Fair enough.
This is, I would say, warranted.
I didn't even say anything. It was Leo. I just
That was before.
Yeah, that was
okay.
before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He owes you one.
So you haven't do you still go up in the jets?
So this
Or not at all,
assignment is
like-
it's just a non-flying assignment.
Okay.
I'm moving to go to school. That'll hopefully set me up to be a squadron commander at some point, and then I want to go back. My goal is to go back to Washington to join the command team up there, flying Growlers. So the Growler, for those who don't know, it's a modified Super Hornet, F-18 Super Hornet. They took out a bunch of systems. They put these jamming pods on them, and now they're a self-escort jamming platform. Essentially, they can escort bombers into a target area past enemy radar systems, depending on the type of system and how far they have to go to release weapons, and hopefully get them in untargeted, or at least under enough cover for them to drop weapons and get out safely. So in the next war, God willing, they're going to be very, very important. So I want to go back there because I want to be in the fight if it goes down.
Shit.
Yeah.
Is that, I don't, if you can't answer it, tell me that, but the jamming
Can't
systems.
answer that.
Okay. Got it. All right. So awesome. Thank
Next
you
question.
so much for being on the show today. We're going to go ahead. No. So like, is it jamming just the radar, or will it
Fucking
jam
told
like
you, can't
other?
answer that.
Well,
Just kidding.
okay, I understand, but he didn't give me a chance.
So you can jam communications,
Okay.
satellite, SATCOM. You can jam cell phone signals. You can jam radar systems.
What's the distance of one of those things?
It depends on what kind of radar. It depends on the frequency that you're trying to jam.
Shit. And you guys have control of all that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty wild jet. There's 2 receivers on the wingtips, and just think of those as like radio frequency sponges. So any frequencies that are being pinged off the jet, it's sucking those in, determining what those signals are and where they are, based off triangulation from both the distance traveled as well as the distance in the wingtips.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to locate those, and then it's telling me, what signals those are, and then usually like a loaded out Growler will have 3 jamming pods with 2 transmitters per pod, so you can jam 6 different bandwidths or bands, in multiple different frequencies. So you should be able to cover the gamut with a 2-ship of Growlers pretty good. Of course, as threats become more advanced, it's so hard to determine what frequencies that they operate in and how those frequencies are transmitted, if they're digital, if they're pulsed, if it's frequency hopping. It gets very complicated, so it's hard to pinpoint that, because if you're not jamming that frequency, you can send all the trons you want to a radar. If you're not even in its frequency or what have you, it's not going to do anything. So it's a lot of work when you're actually in the shit.
So these jamming pods, are they pretty heavy then? Like that's
Yeah,
why
they're big.
that's why they have to replace the actual weapons.
Yeah, so they're probably the size of that couch.
And heavy.
So 6,
I mean, I don't know how heavy they
Oh,
are, but
okay.
they're pretty heavy.
So
but
you
there's-
guys can't see the couch. It's about 6-7 foot couch.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be my best guess.
Standard 3-person couch.
I could be off by a foot or 2, but regardless, they're
They're
big.
massive. Yeah, they are big.
We could probably throw a picture up when this is cut.
Do they mount?
Right
Here's the picture. Yeah.
Nice. Do they mount kind of the same way that like missiles or bombs or whatever?
Yeah, so they're just up underneath the jet. So there's going to be one on each side of the jet on the wings, and then there's one under the jet on the center line. And then usually they'll carry 2 air-to-air weapons, 2 probably AIM-120s, radar-guided missiles. They just got updated in the U.S. to be able to carry AIM-9 sidewinders, so we're talking heat-seeking. And then they'll carry HARM or ARGM, which are high-speed anti-radiation missiles. Those essentially home in on a target on the ground. So those are ground-based target or ground-based weapon, and then the AMRAAMs are for other jets, air-to-air.
So at some point they'll be able to do both,
What do you mean?
like jam frequencies, but also attack.
They can.
Oh, they can now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
So you can do it all.
Yeah, the down one of the down one of the things that sucks is it's fine, Craig. You'll never sit in one.
I'm trying so hard not to say it.
They don't drop. They don't carry bombs. So,
Okay.
but for that kind of mission, it's not totally necessary unless they were going to carry like small diameter bombs, which can go 30 plus miles. But even still, not really required for that weapon system. So
Shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. When you say what do you call this? This is a mission. This is what is this that you're doing? This new.
So I'm helping stand up the Spectrum Warfare Wing. Yeah.
So do you apply for that, or do they say, "Hey Seth, this is what I want you to do next"? How does that work?
So I was actually on vacation. Took my that very first stimulus check that came out, and we went to Hawaii. And I'm sitting on my couch with my family in Hawaii. We're about to go to the beach, and my boss calls me and he goes, "Torque, I got a deal for you." I'm like, "Oh gosh."
Does he
It's
ever
never a good thing.
call you Torquey? Like,
Does anybody else call you Torquey, or is it just us?
No.
No, not us. You.
You call him Torquey, motherfucker?
No,
yes, you do.
Have I called you Torque? Not this show. We've never done it.
Not that I
Seth.
recall.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Crazy.
I had been set up to go to a different job, and then he called me up while I'm on leave, and that's it's never usually a good sign when your boss calls you while you're on leave. But he goes, "Hey man, instead of going to the desert in California, would you like to go help stand up this wing? They need a guy who's a pointy-nosed guy who knows nerd shit like electronic warfare, which I learned in the Growler, and then also to be like a harm Arkham SME for the Air Force." And I'm like, "Where is it?" And he goes, "It's Eglin in Florida." I'm like, "Yes, I will do that." And it turned out to be a really good decision because it helped me immensely with my career, and now it set me up to go to school. And so I'm really fortunate to have had that opportunity.
Badass.
So, if you had declined, is that seen as like a negative thing, or was this like totally
kinda had a choice.
kind of a voluntary thing, or was it more like,
Yeah.
hey, do you want to do this? Like you're going to do this?
I was kind of already set up to go somewhere else, which would have been cool, but this was a better career move, better opportunity, and then I could actually really have an impact. And
When you started this, and I know we probably brought it up in the other podcast, but did you have like a mission on what you wanted to do? When you joined the Air Force, or when you?
So when I first joined, I wanted to fly fighter jets, and
That was it. Like you wanted to. That's what you wanted to do.
But my career path is my technical rating is a fighter combat systems officer, and the only fighter that we can go to is an F-15E Strike Eagle. And my wife,
shit, I remembered something. You keep going.
okay, you gonna forget or you just want to say it?
Yeah, let me say it. Let me say it because I called you over just to ask you this question.
Okay.
So that gentleman that I introduced you earlier, I've never met him, but he came up to me like, "Leo, I'm a big fan," and then he started telling me Air Force. I'm like, "Shit, I have Seth," and I was gonna ask you, does that feel like a bond there? Like Mike used to tell me, special forces. You run into somebody's special forces, and he's like, it's a brotherhood. It feels good to run into somebody that knows what it is to be a special force. Do you feel the same or no? Or how
So
does that
just
feel?
because we're at the same base doesn't mean we're gonna have that same connection.
Yeah.
They're special forces, but if he was like another fighter guy, like he said he was a maintainer on F-111s, which is super cool. It might have been a little bit different, but we're both stationed at the same place, and I know that if he had stuck around and we kind of shot the shit for a little while, I'm sure there's a certain way and certain things you can be saying, and then people just kind of get it if they've been in that environment before.
Because they started talking and
there would have been
what
some
they were
connections
flying,
that
and well, fuck, I don't know nothing about it, and I'm like, fuck, and so that came to mind because I remember when Mike would talk to somebody in special forces, there would be like this glare, like this, like
An understanding.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and you could see, and me knowing nothing, I'm like, fuck, this means something.
Yeah.
So, that's the question that I had. I'm like, do you feel the same, or is it like, oh, another guy that did?
It's definitely happened. Like I've met, actually it happened fairly recently. I got asked to speak at. It's called the Society of Wild Weasels, and Wild Weasels started in Vietnam, and essentially their mission was to penetrate enemy airspace in Vietnam, get shot at by surface air missiles, find them and kill them. And so they went in knowing that they were going to get shot at and whatnot. Damn. And so they're called Wild Weasels.
So they're pretty much there to get shot at, so you can know where they're at.
And so that is still a mission today. It's an F-16 mission, and it's also an F-35 mission. But I was asked to speak at their reunion. So you've got dudes that were in Vietnam as Wild Weasels that are there. And so I'm talking to this maybe 80-person, audience where they're probably in their 80s, but I'm cracking jokes and, we're, just talking like dirty fighter guys, and they're all cracking up, and it's just like it's the same.
Yeah.
And then there were guys there were 3 POWs there that were in the Hanoi Hilton.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I just got chills. Every time I've met
so
multiple.
that is what.
That is, I can't relate to that, but you're just like, you instantly have feelings for that are just super intense because, the closest thing that guys like myself have ever had was like survival school, where they put us through, all the different phases of that you could possibly have to go through. And that's like, and you watch videos and you hear stories and all this stuff, and you're like, that's the closest that we hope to ever have to get, right? Is just survival school. But you meet these guys and they're just like, they've seen it, They were in the Hanoi Hilton with like John McCain, Bud Day, and it's like, oof.
That's some crazy shit. The kind of shit they did there is fucked up.
And the fact that people survived that and they're still alive now.
And like functioning normal people.
They're definitely functioning.
Yeah.
I don't think they're normal.
Yeah, maybe not normal, but functioning.
But yeah, just American heroes for sure.
Absolutely.
So that would be more of a time.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, it was just, I had that. I'm like, I'm going to bring that up in the podcast.
Yeah.
And then just.
It was definitely cool to talk to that guy. He mentioned a street, and I'm like, yep, done that. Yeah. You guys have been to Mountain Home, but the real gem of a town.
Yeah.
Is there, like, out of all the guys that fly in the same kind of jets that you do, like, how many are there? And, like so, do you know, like, most of them?
I didn't want to
divert
half of them? From the original question.
No, it's cool.
What got you into we'll get back to that.
So, as of a few months ago, there were only 6 operational squadrons in the Air Force.
Okay.
2 in England, 2 in Mountain Home, and 2 in North Carolina. And then there's 2 training squadrons in North Carolina. There's 1 like reserve squadron, and then there's like a couple of test squadrons. So there's really not many at any given time. Now they just divested a little bit in the F-15E, so they closed a squadron in Lakenheath, and I believe they're going to close the second one. Don't quote me on any of this. And then they're closing one of the ones at Seymour in North Carolina, and I think they're turning that into a training squadron. So it's dwindling, but I've also been out of that community for a while now because I flew Strike Eagles, I deployed, I immediately went to fly Growlers. So there's 2.5, 3 years gone. And then since that assignment's been 2.5 years.
So
I know a lot of the older guys.
Okay.
I know like most of the majors and above. I know maybe some of the younger captains, but.
So like how many guys are there in a squadron?
Oof.
What kind of numbers are we talking there?
We're talking maybe like 30, 40 guys.
Oh, okay. So it's a
maybe
pretty
30.
limited number of guys flying these like period total. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So all the shit we give you, you're pretty like special.
No, and I'm not gonna.
I'm lucky.
We're not.
Right.
I'm not gonna ease off. We're not gonna ease off. But mad respect for what you do, man.
I appreciate that.
For real.
What you do, you get a lot of shit, but like I said, I don't want to get soft here, but your family.
I appreciate that.
Coming to tops and bringing in the design with us. There's something that we like.
You did it different than almost anybody else.
Seth, the first thing he said is like, I know what you like. And so he copied the the front of our handle. He did he submitted the changes I would do.
Just the way we got the conversation in the first place.
Yeah. And I respect that.
The way you set that up, it was That was pretty impressive.
It was.
Nobody does. Nobody pulls that off.
I didn't know what else to do. I was like,
well, you
calling this old lady on the phone at Tops, and then I'm like sending messages. I'm like, this doesn't get me anywhere.
It got to the point where Leo and I were both like, how do we know this guy? He was like, how do you know him? I'm like,
no, it was
I'm
like, he
I thought you knew him, and Leo's like, I thought you knew him, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, and he's like, I don't know, maybe I met him and I forgot, and then we get on the phone and you're just like, I'm sorry, guys, I know you don't know me, but here's what we're doing. I'm like, motherfucker, got him.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was
because that happens a lot, and I'm with my wife walking down the store, and people will come up like, Leo, how's it going, man? How did this go? And I'm like, and I go with it, and then I'm like, where the fuck do I know him from, or where
or do I?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I date your mom or something?
Yeah. Shit, you look like burn me in front of my wife.
Yeah, dude, that I have so much. That design was like, no kidding, about 2 to 3 years before I even sent it to you. I had made 4 prototypes, I think, out of actual steel. I made it out of wood. I had drawn it up a billion times, and because I'm the kind of guy, like, I know you guys you do this all the time. You can look at someone's shitty ass drawing and be like, oh yeah, that could work.
Yeah, and they can make it work.
Right. But I I need to know it would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to send them as much of a finished product as I can. So I did, and I sent it in. And so that's why it took me so dang long.
And
it'll probably take me that long again.
Well, and the thing is, like, whenever somebody sends us a design, Leo's always got to topsify it. But you already did that for us.
I wanted you to see.
You had done this thing with the handle that Leo does.
He said, you do the 3 screws, you do that front. He's like, I done that. That's what I did to this.
Yep.
Like I see, and
he's like, I did this and this and this the way I think you guys would do it. Yeah. And I mean, from the prototype to the finished product, it's one of the ones that had the least amount of changes.
I think
there's only a few that have been that simple.
Yeah, yeah. I think the biggest fight we had on it, and wasn't even really a fight, was the sheath.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I would have told you that if you would have told me what was the biggest sheath.
The sheath. Yeah.
And I was like, I really pondered on it for a while, and I tried a ton of different designs. I worked with this guy Chris, and I sent him my prototype, and I was like, make me 5 different types of sheaths. I want taco, I want pancake, I want this and that. And he sent them to me, and I'm like, no. And I put my combat gear on. I put my vest on, and I put it on there, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. This will work. This doesn't work. This works. And I was like, it has to be this. Yeah. And
yeah, seriously, that was really the only thing that we went back and forth on.
Angel's over there like, you should have sent it to me.
I would have gotten the first hit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking a chance on it, because I tell you, since then, a few squadrons have ordered it, customized it, and deployed with it to combat.
Fuck yeah.
I've got pictures on my phone of my buddy in an F-22 holding it up. I've got it in F-15. I've got it in F-18. Yeah. Like, I've got it on Green Berets. I've got it.
Shit.
Gosh, it's out there. And that was the goal, because I look at your guys' lineup, and I truly did, because I've always liked your guys' knives. I actually deployed. When I did deploy, I had the T-bow on my neck. I always carried that on my neck in uniform. And I'm like, well, this can't be the only thing, because they teach us, especially in survival school, they're like, 2 is 1, 1 is none, but like more is always better, right? So I carried the neck knife. I had the sock P dagger on my combat vest, and then I ended up going with an SE4 that deployment, just because of the size.
We're gonna flag that right
there. No kidding. That's what I had, and I'm like, this isn't meant for this, but it fits the bill as far as size, and I did like the aftermarket grips on it and stuff, and it was okay, and luckily I didn't have to use it for anything that I would stake my life on. It's great. I love SE. It's a great company, but that's not what that knife is designed for.
Yeah, we're at their booth actually
yesterday. Yeah.
So I come home, and that's when I'm like searching all your guys' stuff, and I'm like, I'm just not. It's just not quite there. So that's why I did it. And
Go loud. Go tell him to shut up.
Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Open that door right
You're
there.
gonna have to get up, Benny. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, so since then, I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to say it. I've been working on other stuff, and I've got one that's been in the works for 3 years again, and I've got it completed. And I was talking with Zeke about it actually last night for a while, and he gave me some good. It was good to bounce it off someone because I hadn't talked to anyone about it except one of my my Green Beret buddies who wants. He's like, if they don't take it, just make. Can I have this one because I want to carry it when I deploy next? I was like, yep.
Badass.
So it's definitely a different style. It's a lot smaller, and it's it's got its own niche. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk about that at some point. But I'm just trying to chip away. And honestly, it's just right. It's out of necessity. You see when you're in a very small niche job, small niche jobs pop up that need a certain tool.
But that's a tool that you can't fuck up with.
Right. Well, that's my point. So I'm like, if I see it, I'm like, okay, well, let's make one. So that's what I did. So yeah, really appreciate it. It was. I was actually shocked when you guys were like, "Yeah, we'll do that."
It's funny the way that it happened, but it's like I say,
it wouldn't have. Yeah, it did. Like I said,
nobody else has gotten it in that way.
Yeah, and like
nobody else
when it has to do with military.
That's what she said.
I'm always
to both.
I'm always in.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come up with something. I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. You have fucking 27 hooks and fucking saws where you don't need them, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm always game when like, oh, this guy's, he's serving and I'm like, all right, let's look at it and let's see if we can make it work.
Yeah.
I've always done that. It came from Mike. Mike, anything had to do with military,
right.
Let's try to help him out. Let's try to give him something that is gonna save their ass on the field.
I mean, that's why I went with you guys. That's what I did. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone else. Yeah, so I want to talk to these guys because I knew that.
Yeah, and so when you brought it up, I'm like, all right, let's see what it is. And then fucking he started telling me, I'm like, fucking guy.
We're having that conversation, and Leo and I are both like, motherfucker. Yeah. Like we hung up and looked at each other, and we're like, he fucking played us.
Oh yeah, he made it sound like he fucking knew us, and then he's like, I know you don't know. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I remember I was sitting in my office, and I got you guys on Zoom or whatever. Oh,
props on that one. Nobody else has pulled that off.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I probably ruined it for everyone else now.
I mean, sure, to an extent.
But no, I respect that because if somebody else can come with that and give me something that I don't have to fuck with,
right,
and it stops the fight already.
Yeah, if it had been a dumb design,
that means they're taking the time to see what we do, and they really want us to make it. Mm-hmm. But they're like, well, yeah, it has 3 holes in it. I don't give a fuck, It's not just that. It's just
that's the details after the design that you pick up on that other people don't necessarily. So yeah,
I dig it. Pretty pumped about it. And you guys just put out a few. I think you just did another production. So go get your MPAT.
Yep.
They sold out at Blade Show. Just saying.
Yep. They're out.
Yeah, they only brought 2. I'm fucking
damn.
It was 4.
Damn.
Hey, bring more next time, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but no, it does. Every show that we're at, they're moving. They are moving.
Yep.
Production was the only thing that was putting it down, but
I mean that wasn't your guys doing. It sounded like anyway with material.
But no, I think it's gonna come down that we give it, let it give it as go. And then we modify colors and shit like that, but design stays the same.
I told him the other day, I go, and I don't respect any of these people that are like, oh, I would have got that if it was black. I'm like, then you're not the guy to buy this knife. Like,
you always get that.
Yeah, but I hear black all the time because the prototype was black, and that's what we were putting pictures out of at first, and that's what people got excited about. I'm like, it is sweet as black, but then I forget who I was talking about.
Yeah, if it's not the color of the blade and the color of the handle, is the sheath.
Yeah.
And then you show them everything that they asked for. They're like, and how much is it? $150. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, way out of my RAM, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, you're being a little picky for your wallet.
No matter what. No matter what, you're going to get that. So like I said, we're gonna push it until it starts slowing down, and then we do modifications on colors and stuff like that. But what we have right now is solid.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of that.
So what? So you were talking about what got you into the Air Force in the first place?
Yeah, into the Air Force or flying this jet, because those are two different stories. But I think
I want to hear both of these.
Let's start from what got
you into the Air Force.
So I joined a little later. I was 25 when I joined. I had gone to college. I went to graduate school. I got my master's, and then I joined 3 years after that. And during that time,
you're a fucking overachiever.
I wasted 3 years of my life trying to do something. So stand by, Craig.
Okay, standing by.
So I was trying to get federal. So I got my master's in criminology. So I wanted to go work for the FBI, and I wanted to be an intel analyst because that was kind of my background. So I go through, no kidding, about a year and a half, 2 years with them, and I get hired. Background checks. I did a polygraph with them, staring at a white wall. It was intense. And then finally they're like, yep, we want you to do this in New York City. And I was like, sweet, I did it.
That's what I wanted.
I'm stoked, yeah. And this was end of 2012. And that's, when the federal hiring freeze and sequestration and all that stuff started happening. So I get a call from my recruiter, and she's like, Seth, I'm sorry, but there's a federal hiring freeze, and you're going to have to reapply in a year. And I was like, oh, shit. Are you kidding me?
You got to restart all of that.
Yeah. And I was like, I probably just let all the air out of my body out. And I was like, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I go, but you guys already hired me. She goes, well, you didn't leave for Quantico yet, and we're not paying you yet. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hang up and I go, you know what? I'm going to go do military intelligence.
Were you married already or not?
I was married, and I had like a kid on the way.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And so I was like, I'm going to go do military intelligence for 4 years, and then by that time it should blow over, and I'll get out and go do it.
No, dude.
And so I walked into the Air Force, and I was like, I want to do this. And he's like, cool. Go take the Air Force officer qualifying test and see if you even qualify to do it. And so I did. And he goes, oh, you actually qualified to be in the rated program, and rated jobs are just flying jobs. Okay. I was like, okay, what's that? And he explains it. And I'm like, I'm afraid to fly. I'm scared of flying. He goes, well, maybe this isn't for you. And I was like, well, stand by. I go talk to my wife. Yeah. And he goes, listen, the rated board is in a month. The non-rated board, where Intel is in 7 months. Why don't you apply? And if you get picked up, then you can decide. If not, just wait another 6 months and you can apply for the job you came in for. Said, okay. So I applied, and they picked me up as it's called a CISO. And I was like, what's that? Didn't know what it was. And he's like, oh, you could go fly fighter jets. And I was like, listen, dude, I'm not your 18-year-old kid that normally walks in here that you're going to just, string along or whatever. And he goes, no, really, you could. What he didn't say was that there was only one that I could go into. And you pretty much had to do really well in flight school.
So he left something out.
He did, which is fine. I actually called him 2 years later, and I was like, hey, guess what? And he's like, who's this?
Yeah.
So that's how I joined that. And I was like, I rolled the dice, and I was like, fuck it. And I chose to fly. And the whole time, my wife wasn't really into me flying fighters because she thought the ops tempo was super high. I'd be gone all the time and this and that. And I'm like, okay. So, she made the choice to follow me. And so I will, make the choice to follow her a little bit on her wishes, and I'll go for something else. So for nearly the whole year of flight school, I'm going for something else. And then 2 weeks, it was a week before drop night. And drop night is when you learn what aircraft you're going to fly. You don't know what you're flying the whole time. It's all merit-based pretty much, and availability.
Okay.
And so I had to submit my dream sheet, the aircraft I wanted in order of preference. And my wife's like, Seth, put fighters. I was like, what? This whole time?
You said no.
This whole time? And she's like, I've now had a chance to meet other fighter guys, like instructors and all this. And she goes, those are your people. Go do it. And I was like, hell yes, thank you. Put it to the top, and I got it a week later. And the rest was history.
You got
there.
your top pick.
So when you're going through flight school, is there any actual flying, or is it all simulation? Like what's...
So first thing I did is I had to go to Pueblo, Colorado. I flew the DA-20 Katana. It's a 2-seat tandem jet. So it's not jet, it's a prop. You're like in a cockpit with a guy this size, shoulder to shoulder, in like a paper airplane flying around.
Like that one time you were in that exit row seat like this?
Yeah, like that. No kidding.
You booked the flight, right?
No, that was you.
No, you did.
I convinced you to take that seat, but you booked the flight. I didn't know that there was going to be a bigger motherfucker in the
big
seat
fucking
next
dude.
to you.
And motherfucker like this. And I'm fucking like this the whole
Dude
fucking
sitting like this
flight.
the whole way.
And Craig's fucking in
And
the seat
Leo's
over
up
there,
against
just
the
looking at
window.
me.
Like this.
Fucking Craig's over there looking at me. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I was pissed. And then that fucker would like move to get something. And then I'll drop my arm. And then he fucking like lay his shoulder on me. I was just talking to Anna about that actually when we were flying.
He's never sat in an exit row ever
I don't
again.
give a fuck. Yeah.
Ever again. Anyway, so kind of like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I flew that.
I know you.
And then I went back, started actual flight training. So that was like a screening process. Then I started flying doing simulators for the T6 Texan, this aircraft. Jesus, help me out.
Yes. Poor Jesus. He's going to have to work for this one.
And then, so I flew that for a while. That was a wild thing to fly if you'd never flown before. So it's a turboprop, and you're sitting, one in front of the other. And one of the scariest maneuver I had ever done was in that we had to spin on purpose. So you can Google or YouTube a T6 spinning. And for a guy that wasn't into flying and had never flown before.
You didn't like to fly or you didn't like heights? What was it?
Yep.
Both. Nice.
I spin like a corkscrew?
So you stall the aircraft and it falls out of the sky and it's just...
Or like a flat spin, no,
it's not a flat spin.
Like a top spin.
It's
like
way worse.
Like a Top Gun flat spin.
No, it's way worse.
Okay.
I'll show you later.
I've seen those.
Yeah, but
I've seen Top Gun.
Yeah,
but
not that. And then I flew the T1 Jayhawk, this one, and then I got my wings, and then I went to. So that's when I got my wings. I had flown 3 at that point. And then I went to Intro to Fighter Fundamentals in Mississippi and flew the T-38. I only got like 30 hours in that. And then I went to F-15 school. That was about a year or 10 months. Greatest fighter jet ever made, ever. And then eventually after that, I flew the Growler. They're both fantastic airplanes. They both have very different missions. I do miss the Strike Eagle a lot, that 15E, because we got full stick and throttles in the back. I've got a targeting pod. I've got tons of bombs, and I deployed in that aircraft and did the job in the Middle East with that, and that was the greatest thing I've ever done in the Air Force. So
in all of this, all that flight school, all that training and stuff, were you, and I'm not talking shit, it's going to sound like I'm talking shit, but were you ever the pilot, or were you always the doing the other part?
So I'm a WISO. I'm a weapons systems officer. Mm-hmm. However, I do have a lot of stick time. Like, we have full controls, so we naturally...
No, I'm asking that totally not being a dick.
So for example, I mean, that's not my job, but we'd be, like, if we're flying cross country, if he's got to do something or if he's sick of flying, like, hey, you're jet, and now I'm in command of the aircraft.
Okay.
Oh, so you can control
So
it.
he can just, like, take
pretty
a nap.
much what he does in front, you can do. Oh, fuck. That's badass.
So does he have control over the bombs too, or just you?
Yeah, we can do
so
each
you
other's
can each
stuff.
do whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool too, because there'll be times when we're doing big exercises like in Vegas and whatnot. We'll be doing air to air and air to ground at the same time. He'll be in the front shooting missiles at bad guys while I'm like talking to a guy on the ground, setting up targeting and setting up bombs and
that's a lot going on at once.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible machine.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's what got you into the Air Force.
And that's what got me into fighters. So, and then I saw an opportunity to do an exchange with the Navy, and I just didn't really want to pass it up. I get to fly another fighter jet, Super Hornet, it's a badass airplane.
Is that the one that the Blue Angels fly?
It's obviously modified for this mission, but it's very cool. Fun to fly, fun to dogfight in. We call it BFM, Basic Fighter Maneuvers, but
I see.
call it dogfighting.
Yeah, I've seen Top Gun too. I haven't seen the second one though. I still haven't.
You
even
just said
watched
you
it.
did.
No, I've seen the first one.
You said I've seen Top Gun too.
I know, but I meant TOO.
Oh, well, they fly Super
well.
Hornets in that one. So
Nice.
in the second one, actually, they filmed a lot of that up at my base that I was at, Whidbey Island, while I was there. So Tom Cruise on base, and I'm driving by his trailer every day, and they're like, "No pictures," I'm like.
you're like, stop me.
You said pictures, fucking video.
yeah, right. So have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
So where
I'm just afraid if I watch it, I'm going to cut a mustache, and
you should
I don't look good with a mustache.
we're
Fuck,
going to find out.
Where's
No,
Aaron?
We're not finding out.
Where's Aaron?
We're definitely not finding out.
So the scenes where they're flying like over the Whitecap Mountains and going upside down.
Yeah, they're going upside down.
That's all filmed in Washington in the Cascade Mountains. So actually, one of my buddies did the film. He was in the jet, flying the actual airplane.
It wasn't Tom Cruise in?
Have you flown those same?
He was in it.
Have you flown that same area?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Fuck, that's cool.
That's the most beautiful flying I've ever done. Yeah. You've got Mount Rainier, you've got Mount Baker, all those, what is it? Baker, Rainier, Adams, St. Helens, and Hood all in a row.
Shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Right on.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, Greg, we definitely got to watch it. And
No.
do that much.
So what's the fastest you've ever gone? Like, have you broken the sound barrier? Have you been in a plane that goes? Like,
It's part of our tactic.
Is that pretty common? That's okay.
I've gone.
What's the fastest?
So Mach 1 is the speed of sound.
Speed of sound, right?
Right. And it's not related to an actual speed. It's all based on pressure, right? Because sound travels differently based on the pressure.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily related to a speed. So the fastest I've gone is Mach 1.48. So about 1.5 times the speed of sound. But the F-15 clean will do about 2.5. Mach 2.5.
And so that was my next question. So Mach 2 is 2 times the speed of sound. 3 is 3
so
times.
forth.
Okay. So it's not exponential. It's just times the speed of sound. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the fastest that the U.S. has done in jets that you know of?
I don't know. Over 2.5. Probably not that much. Probably not that much faster though.
The SR-71 goes pretty fucking fast, right?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
They don't fly that anymore.
That's totally defunct.
Oh, Shigom. Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. There's one
What do they
actually
replace
right
them
on my
with?
base. They didn't really. Well,
There's something.
there's
is
the
it
U2.
stealth basically that they've replaced them with?
U2. No, the U2 is like a high altitude reconnaissance, but it doesn't. It's not high.
It's not
speed
built
like
for
that,
speed.
no.
Okay.
It's got like
It's built for pleasure.
crazy long wings,
Gonna motorboat
super
it?
skinny. Yeah.
Sorry. Had to.
Yeah. There's some pretty incredible aircraft out there.
Do you ever get a chance to fly in some of these other crazy jets? Some of these other.
I had an opportunity to fly F-16 when I was in Japan. I was deployed to Japan a couple years ago, but that just fell through. But that wouldn't be too hard. I have friends that fly every fighter jet in the inventory. However, the F-15C, F-22, and F-35 are all single seat.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
the F-16 is single seat, but they still have a couple of 2-seaters, like 2-seat trainers and things like that. So, no, I've been fortunate. I've flown in like C-130s and things like transport aircraft.
Okay, yeah.
And stuff like that. But
Not none of the stealths or anything like that.
no.
Have you ever seen? I'm probably getting too
We'll find out.
dumb here, but have you ever seen any of the like stuff that they're working on?
Yes.
Have you ever been in any of them? Like, have you had a chance to fly in any of those?
No.
Damn. Once you finish doing what you're doing now, are there possibilities?
Maybe.
Right on. Okay, understood. That's cool. So you're writing a desk right now for how much longer?
So my last day in the office was last week. So now I'm just finishing up like an online course. I'm moving up to Alabama, and I'll be in school. I'll be in this. It's a master's program, and and then I might stay and do another 1 year program. So I'll see. Try and give the family a little bit of stability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it sucks.
So you've got two. You've got a master's already. You're about to have a second.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Whatever.
You're kind of like humble and not humble at the same time. Like you're super humble, but then you talk shit.
Well,
it's an interesting. It's like a.
You force this,
I do.
Right?
I know. I do. I know. I do. So it's my fault. But there's like this line that you're doing a really good job of staying on.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's because I'm only one beer deep here.
Oh, okay. Can you guys get him another one of these?
Yeah. Give me the hard stuff. The ultras.
I'll have some cognac if there's any left in there.
I thought you guys would be having, Corona Modelo or something. Where's that at?
That's Modelo probably.
It's in the freezer, the little cognac bottle.
Hangovers are horrible with those beers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we learned the hard way.
I haven't been drinking a whole lot lately, but honestly, lately, old fashions have been my jam. Drinking a lot of bourbon, yeah. So if I'm ever having anything, I'm making an old fashioned for sure. Actually, my going away, which was last week, my team got me a bottle of Blanton's, so that was cool of them. And then I got a bottle of I don't know. Doesn't matter now. Oh, Pendleton.
Okay.
Which is I think it's Canadian, isn't it? Northwest.
Pendleton, I think so.
Northwest.
I think it is Canadian.
Maybe BC.
That shit's
I don't
fucking
know.
Strong.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
It sounds like that one's empty.
What's that?
Pendleton.
No, that one's not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be drinking. Like I said, I've been trying to focus on trying to get back into good shape, and as you can see,
I have not. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you are.
Appreciate you. But yeah, I really love coming down here and meeting folks. It's always.
What do you think of Were you in the knife community before this?
Yeah, I did. I was I don't know why. I really liked Spyderco at one point, so I have a bunch of buddies, and I'd been to Spyderco on one of my moves. And I still carry a PM2. It's a cool knife. They make some good stuff.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot of sprint runs, and
yeah,
they try all sorts of different steels.
Crazy.
Yeah. They do a lot of stuff.
They really do. And they're in a really cool spot up in Golden, Colorado.
I'll be getting one of those. It's a Spyderco.
You're getting one?
Yeah.
Is it a military or a PM2?
No, this is I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people see Leo and they think he'll only ever carry tops. He carries whatever.
Yeah, I carry.
He's probably got an Emerson on him right now.
Oh yeah.
He did yesterday.
Yeah, I left that one in the room. But no, this is just a custom one.
One you did?
Yeah.
Right on. Love that. Yeah, that's cool file work. That'll stick ya.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I did.
How many times has it gotten you?
None. That one, none. No. Jason's not around.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I really my great grandfather was a blacksmith for the railroad and a welder, and so I'm really kind of I like to embrace heritage and stuff. He was not.
No, sorry. The knife.
Yeah, PM2.
PM2. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I really like that.
Shaman, what is that? Shaman?
Oh, the shaman?
Shaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those are cool.
Both of those are coming, so.
But, I built a forge. I got an anvil, and, I like to make stuff. Not just knives. Everyone's like, I'm going to get all this stuff and just make knives. I'm like, there's so many more.
Yeah,
blacksmithing is so cool, man. So many things you can make.
Yeah, you can make horseshoes.
Yeah, I made a horseshoe.
I'm kidding. It's like the cliche stuff that everybody thinks you make.
Kelso, these little picks. Actually,
he makes all sorts of cool
I saw that.
Yeah, they're badass.
I just want to, when I retire and I get land and I live in the woods or something, I want to be able to fix it if I've broken it or make it if I don't have it.
Yeah.
And so.
And make knives, of course.
If I need a knife, make a knife.
So what other kind of hobbies do you have? Or do you have time for?
I don't have a lot of time, but I like to woodwork, or I'll do, I like to draw, or like do some watercolor and pen and ink and type stuff.
Oh, I suck at drawing and painting and shit like that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be able to do it. So like in high school, I would take classes. Every year I would take an art class. Can't do it.
There's a genre for that.
I just can't do it.
Just be the guy that throws paint on the wall or whatever.
No, those are so fucking dumb. This modern art bullshit is
Yeah,
so
but they
stupid.
fucking make bank,
Oh
Craig.
my god!
Well,
have you seen the video of this guy?
Hunter Biden made bunches of money doing that.
Oh yeah, that was clearly money laundering.
No comment.
Have you seen the fucking dude?
It wasn't me.
The dude with the fucking orange buckets just full of sand, and he like cracks a hole in one, and then they fall, and everybody's like, "Oh yes, yes." They're like clapping. It's
The
like,
one that they
that's
do,
art.
that they have a fucking hole in the bottom of that fucking bucket.
Oh.
And they let it go.
Oh, yeah,
and does
yeah,
this
yeah.
shit.
You could do that.
It's so fucking
I am.
easy.
You could strip down and Leo could
Oh.
paint you, and you could jump onto a
The ones
canvas
where they
or
like
something.
sit and they like have their ass and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a Craig Angel or something.
yeah. I could do one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
I
cherub,
won't,
guess.
but I could.
We should try it.
No, I don't think so.
And you autograph it, and then
No,
we
I
can-
just told you I can't do art. So
No, but I'm gonna
no,
paint you.
it's okay.
You're gonna
So-
be his brush.
So what kind of woodwork?
You're gonna drag him around the floor, covered in paint.
God damn it! So what kind of woodworking? Like cabinetry type stuff, or like
I haven't really
fine
made. Yeah, I
art
mean,
type stuff. Or
actually for a going away gift for two of my. We have like I'm into watches. I like watches.
Okay, yeah.
And I was talking to Leo about his sweet Rolex today. We have like a little watch club at work, and so as a going away, I drew we have a club watch. It's just like a cheap little watch. I drew it, and then I built the frame for it and gave it to
Okay,
my
that's
guy.
cool.
Like things like that. I just don't have a lot of time. I got 3 sons. We just got done with Little League.
Sports, yep.
I have no time during Little League season.
well, you've got them involved in a bunch of stuff too. You got them involved in like jujitsu and stuff like that.
baseball, soccer, basketball.
That's a lot of time, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of time.
It's important. My kids have
course.
ADHD and they need to be doing something.
It seems like you kind of do too.
Yeah.
But you've kind of like channeled it into something that works for you.
I mean, my dad and my brother are both master woodworkers. My dad builds furniture. My brother does cabinetry. He does stairs. He does for all these like crazy, probably houses like we saw driving.
Oh, fuck.
here,
Okay.
like,
Yep.
beautiful work. So it's in the family. So I grew up around it. So I kind of like that, and I want to teach it to my boys. And we've all 3 of my boys have all made a blacksmith knife. They've beat on hot metal, and I just think it's a pretty cool thing to do with your kids, and pass down.
That is cool.
Leather work. I like to do leather work. Like I did this. I
nice.
meant to show you this. My wallet. I like to make I make a new wallet every couple of years. I made this one.
Okay.
Turned out okay.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking clean.
You want to make some holsters?
You're such a cocksucker.
I can make you a hot dog holster.
Fucking dick.
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna wet mold it.
You did this with a sewing machine, yeah?
I did it with my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hand stitched it.
On the back side, it's super tight, which usually looks like it's done with a machine.
Yeah, I can't afford a freaking machine to stitch
They're actually
that.
here at the show.
Weaver is right.
Is that
Or who else?
They have
Was
a
it
couple
Weaver?
of them. They're like
I don't know, but
$5,000.
they
dude.
just
Crazy.
Anna and I stopped by there, and there's I guess a really big leather convention show.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Don't tell Craig where.
Too late.
Close.
I heard her.
No, it's not Jackson.
Well, I'll find it. There's one in Montana or Wyoming that I've seen Jerry talk about. And I'm gonna have to check it
Saddles
out.
and chaps, probably, right?
A lot of
A
Sheridan.
lot of-
It's in Sheridan.
Yeah, it is
Because there's a whole style of leatherwork called Sheridan.
Yeah, but it is in Sheridan. It's the first or second week of May.
Okay.
But he said it is massive.
Can I pull out this challenge coin?
Yeah. So I don't usually take it out, but
I was gonna say it doesn't look like it comes out.
spend it.
It looks like it's meant to just stay.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to look at the coin.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Thanks, man.
That's really well done.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's clean.
But I got a new card, And so I built it to only hold 6 cards. So now I got to make a new one. That's why I keep my concealed I carry under there.
If this one, if you can't use this one, you're gonna have to send it to Tops or something.
You can have that if you want. It's got my initials on it though.
So?
No, I don't think Leo cares. He's not worried about that.
No, this is.
That's nice. That's the squadron where I was flying Growlers. That's a Growler. Yeah.
I see what you're saying on the stitches.
Yeah, right. It looks like a machine because of how tight they are.
That's a nice part about stitching something so thick. You can really,
you can really cinch it down without fucking.
I did that. I did fuck up one stitch. Thanks for noticing, Leo.
That wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to make anything perfect.
No, I seriously thought it was on purpose. That it was slightly angled.
Yeah, it was. Leo's just trying to give me shit, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew it was.
No, I mean that's like if everything's totally perpendicular and everything, it's kind of boring. But
yeah,
you add a little bit of.
So
you add some kind of angles to it. There's a little bit of depth.
Kind of funny story. If you look at the front of it, you see how it's kind of like. This was veg tan, you know, and I dyed it, and it looks all kind of cool, right? Mm-hmm. This all was like this at one point, and I lost. I'm not gonna go into that story, but I lost my wallet in Japan, and it ended up in like this gutter.
And it was fucked up. Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to like everybody know. Everybody's like, "Yep."
It was out in the rain, and it was like it got soaked and it got moved around, and this nurse found it, and she I had my hotel key, and she calls the hotel, and then they call me, and I got my damn wallet back before I canceled all my cards. But I get it back, and it looks like this. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's how I justified doing it again. But maybe it'll turn out cooler next time.
I mean, with time, that'll happen with more time just from the patina, from the use and
this is
the things
4
that
years
we'll
old at this point. So, but so
that's well
I got hobbies.
There's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Thanks, man. And I know you're doing leather work. I'm gonna do my custom MPAT for just me. I want you to make a sheath for it.
I will. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be sick.
As soon as I give Leo some holsters, apparently.
What?
I heard he was making you like an ostrich thong or something.
I hope.
That's next.
Hopefully he finishes that.
No, I'm working on two ostrich holsters right now. Ostrich on the outside, kangaroo on the inside.
Hell yeah.
They're inside the waistband holsters. I remember when I was talking to him, I was like,
it's still cool.
I was like, dude,
of course,
nobody's gonna see them. He's like, I don't care. They're not for them.
Yeah, it's for me.
Like, okay, fair enough. You know,
that's right.
It's pretty fancy leather to hide away inside your waistband.
It is, but
just imagine the guy trying to rob him. That's the last thing he sees is like this really nice holster. He's like, oh fuck, that's nice, and then he's dead.
Yoink. Mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have mine on me. I've got a hybrid holster. That thing was poking me all day, but it's leather on the inside up against your skin, and then it's Kydex on the outside. I really like that.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't make that one. No. No, I didn't really want to screw around with that one.
You didn't want to be like that FBI guy doing the backflip in the club?
No.
Yeah. Can you imagine how many holster companies like tried to test that event after that happened?
On what?
Don't you remember? This was probably fucking 4 or 5 years ago. This FBI guy, he's at a club. I think it was in Florida.
Probably.
But he's fucking dancing in the club, and he's doing his thing, and then he fucking does a backflip, and his duty gun falls out of his holster, and he goes to pick it up and hits the trigger.
Really?
I think he shot a dude in the leg or something like that.
He got one.
But yeah, he definitely got fired quick.
Well, actually, what I was going to say is the gun I've been carrying is I bought that gun as a celebration for the MPAT.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so I bought that, and I bought a watch, and I was like, this is my. Anytime I look at this is.
That's cool.
A sign of my accomplishment. So I got a SIG 365X macro. I don't know if you shot that gun. I love that gun, bro. No. I threw a Hollow Sun.
Oh no, it's a Hellcat.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick gun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You like it?
I do.
Full size, grip, short barrel. It's great.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I like guns. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, Leo's got some. He's got some cool pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any historical guns or that you can talk about?
No. So Mike's. Mike's duty gun, I have. When he was in,
Beretta.
It was a Glock.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
In when? In what?
When he was in.
When he was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it meant a lot to him,
Got it.
and it meant a lot to a lot of people.
19 Glock 19.
It is.
Yeah,
Yep. And but yeah, I have that.
that's cool.
That's probably my most inexpensive. Like, there's no price gun. I don't know.
Yeah, priceless.
That's
Priceless.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, more priceless.
Yeah,
I would say out of everything you have, that's probably top of your list.
Absolutely.
great gun
Yeah.
by itself anyway. Glock 19.
And I have a bunch of Glocks,
Yeah,
but
not like
they
that.
don't mean shit to me.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
cheap, great gun.
it is.
You know?
It is.
It's a tank.
They don't stop shooting.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how dirty they are. I have some fancy. I'm gonna tell you a little story just because it still hurts me, but I got a lot of
here for
fucking.
you.
No.
Just
It's
wait.
my fault. It was my fault.
Yeah.
So my wife, my son, brother-in-law, Cody, Chad, my niece. I got a private concealed carry class for them.
Yeah, cool.
And so Jason Johnson is the name, the instructor, and
Not the knife thrower, different guy.
yeah, different guy. And so he's like, if you want to come out and shoot with them, cool. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this 38 Super, and I love 38 Super. Well, this 38 Super, I take it out, I shoot it, fucking in the holster, put it away. Take it, shoot it in the holster, and put it away. Over and over. Well, he called me out, and he's like, if you want to come out, they're gonna start shooting. I'm all right, cool. Grab two 38 Supers, the ones I normally use. Grab like 4 boxes of ammo, and I'm like, fucking mags. I stop at fucking Sports and Warehouse on out. They have Kimber 38 mags, I'm like, fuck it, they'll work. I go out, fire twice, jams up, dude. The instructors, they're taking their fucking job like it's really like fucking critical.
Like life or death.
Yeah. And
Which
so I'm
it
like,
can be.
motherfucker. And yeah,
But they were just being super strict about it.
yeah,
right?
super
About
strict and
everything.
and I dropped the mag. I step back. I point. Like, I know how to use a fucking. Don't move, dude. Like, oh, you fucking bitches. You leave that mag on the ground, and I'm like, fuck. And my fucking guns kept jamming up. And these 38 Supers, I spent money on them. They're fucking. They have the fucking. What do you call it? The engraving on the side. I spent money on them fucking
Scrimshaw and all that shit.
Yeah. And so they're jamming up. I'm looking like a fucking idiot, and it's my guns jamming up. And I'm like, and then I tell Jason I'm out. I'm like, I'm pulling out. I'm not gonna keep shooting. I'm like, this shit. I'm like, it's a mags. And so he's like, no, just I'll let you borrow my gun. I'm like, no, I'm done. And everybody's looking at me. And when I'm shooting, I shot like 2-3 mags, but I can shoot with those guns.
Sure.
And I'm, fucking locking them in where I want them, but then they'll jam up, and so they have to stop the class for me. And I'm like, fucking bitch! I wanted to grab that gun and just shred it on the ground. Well, I get back to the table. They keep shooting. I open it, and I just take a chunk of fucking just dirty as fuck. I'm like, motherfucker, leave. And so I just open it. I take the slide off, and I'm just taking chunks of shit out of it. I'm like, never fucking again will this happen to me. Now I shoot them, and I'm fucking cleaning them fucking things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
But your point is, you don't have to with the Glock.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And with the Glock, them motherfuckers, they can feed full of fucking dirt in the mud and still shoot.
Yeah, it's a good gun.
But yeah, like I said, but yeah, it won't happen again. Yeah, that one still hurts. Yeah, but yeah, those Glocks again, they're cheap, $500-600, and they're not gonna fucking fail. And again, go back to that's one of my most,
That's got to be one
That's
of
pretty cool.
That's one of the coolest things you own, probably.
even a K bar that Mike used. I have that one as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's badass.
Not to Mike then, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
To Mike.
Fuck, I need to open this.
Oh, you're resting on us over there. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So, what's your favorite gun? What's your prized
that
piece?
I own?
Mm-hmm.
So that first deployment to the desert, we did a squadron buy. That's a pretty common thing to commemorate the deployment. So we got Kimber 1911s, custom Kimbers, and so it's got the jet silhouette on the rail. It's got my call sign on it, and then it's got our squadron patches engraved on the handles. So that's pretty cool. I've only shot it once. It sits in the case and display it. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then my dad gave me a Browning BL-22 lever action rifle.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was his dad's. And first gun I ever shot, and the first gun my sons have ever shot. So that one's pretty special.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's beautiful cherry. It's a pretty cool gun. So I have a bunch of guns, but nothing.
When you're in a jet, do you have a gun on you too?
Deployed, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll carry my first deployment. We carried a Beretta 9mm on our chest. I think they've swapped to the SIGs.
One of the SIGs.
Yeah, I think they've swapped to the SIG. I think it's the M17. But yeah, Beretta 9mm. And then if I had to eject under my seat, the only way to get to it is if you eject. You eject with the seat, and then you separate, and there's a seat kit that's attached to you. And so when you're coming down in the parachute, it's hanging 20 feet below you in this bag, and inside that is a GAU 5. But it's in pieces, so it'll fit under the seat.
Yeah.
So as soon as you hit, we trained. We only did it once before I deployed. But
shit!
You had to pull the seat kit in as fast as you could, open it up, and put the gun together. It had the lower and upper units, and then the magazine. You had I think 120 rounds, and then you could put that together, and you have a rifle.
Fuck.
Was there a amount of time you were supposed to be able to do it in, or it was just
do
this as fast? I mean, obviously
what I
as
didn't
fast as
say
possible, but
was when they yell go, about 50 yards over there, we have OP4. We have guys with shooting 223
sim rounds?
Sim rounds. Those fucking hurt. And when they say go, those guys start coming at you and shooting at you, and you have no cover, and you're pulling this in, trying to. So the faster you put it together,
so you are very
it's really
motivated.
on you. Yeah. Holy fuck. Yeah. Some guys will just usually drop their shit, grab it, and run for cover, and then put it together. But yeah, those things suck.
Yeah, I bet.
So not exactly a timed thing, but it's
kind of.
You should probably do it.
Yeah, you should do it quickly. Yeah.
I mean, all of us.
Do you
would
have to
been
fire
dead.
back, or are you just?
If you could put your shit back together, yeah, you should fire back.
Okay. So yours is loaded with sim rounds too. Mm-hmm. Is there when do they stop the timer on this? When you shoot them all, or what? How does this work?
I don't remember. When they probably ran out.
They were done.
So no matter what, they're just gonna unload.
You're just getting pelted. Yeah.
You're just gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
That seems like a good lesson in humility.
Oh yeah.
No matter what, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is that's the type of stuff you run through. When you go into combat, you're like, man, if I get shot down, you hear stories about guys floating down and terrorists are just shooting at them, and you're just helpless. You got a 9mm, but you're in the wind. Mm-hmm. God, it sounds just terrible.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems pretty shitty.
Yeah. Fuck terrorists.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Gotten rid of a lot of them, but
they just keep coming.
They do.
Yeah. So I think next time we have you on the podcast, we're gonna need to get more into knives, because it seems like you have. There's a lot
more there. Yeah.
You have a lot of knowledge there. You have a lot of. A lot of makers, and it seems like there's more that you know about knives than you're letting on. So I think that should be maybe the next conversation.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And maybe, maybe we'll have another design to talk about at that point. Who knows?
Maybe so.
Where's that box?
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but
maybe we can. I'll show you later.
Where's the box?
Oh, he's already got one.
You guys mailed me one.
It's in the
No, but this is
the
round two,
hard
so you
case.
I want to
They're
hand,
like
I want to
Pelican
hand
case.
you one, not mail
appreciate
it to
it.
you. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about bringing that
shit, it's
design,
right
but
here.
I didn't.
Hello.
get ready, asshole. Fuck.
Can you hand this to him so he can hand it to you?
No, don't touch it. God damn it. Fucking
Sorry.
Craig.
We got too serious for too long. I had
Yeah.
to say something.
This don't mean shit anymore. But yeah, no, man. Seriously, round two.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Hopefully, rack them up. So
That's awesome.
You are
yeah,
the
man,
only
appreciate it, man. Yeah,
guy that has two of those.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You just
Not
said
a joke.
you were taking it back. This was for the show.
No. You can. I guess you can keep it.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. It really does.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You guys, I think about this type of stuff all the time, and you guys really helped a lot of people out. You guys don't even realize the people you help out. You know, you're doing a business and you're busy selling knives and making knives and doing all that stuff, but like at the end of the day, that product gets into a person's hand and they're using it to better their lives or to save their life or to, do anything with. They're spending their time and their money on stuff that you guys are doing, and it's appreciated.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. Similar to what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah,
Seth,
thank you.
we give you a lot of shit, and it's fun, talking shit to you, but mad respect for what you do.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
your
it.
service,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you.
And keep busting ass.
Yeah.
For us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
So-
we'll still talk shit, but
Yeah, absolutely.
you know that we love you.
But-
The
but
night
it's
is young, so
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
right on.
So everybody, thanks for watching.
Yep.
Check Seth out. He may have another design coming at some point. In
see.
the meantime, go buy an MPAT if you don't already have one.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right, everybody.
Thanks,
Peace
everyone.
out.